Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So George was mowing brush yesterday, and George had a little bit of a problem. As you can see, one of the blades is missing off our 72-inch diamond brush mower. So we decided that it is time that we're going to change all the blades, because once this happens to one, it's going to end up being a chain reaction because they're getting to the point where they're a little bit wore out. But we're going to go ahead and replace all three because we don't want them to continue to fall off. And the problem is, if you replace one and the rest are worn, you're going to end up with an out of balance mower. So it's better just to replace all three. So we'll get our tools rounded up. We got a blade kit from Diamond in the back of the truck. We'll get started switching these out. We'll get back to mowing on this ditch project and debrushing on this project. And we'll go from there. Okay, so blade changes are very simple on the Diamond mower. This is the actual bolt, and there's also a hex insert here in the mower itself. What you need to do when you want to take your bolts off, there's a roll pin you have to drive out first. You drive that roll pin out, just carry a roll pin punch with you, drive that roll pin out, then you can take the impact through this hole here and buzz that nut off. And with this being a insert, if that ever gets chewed up and your bolt doesn't fit in there tight anymore, you can actually drive or press that out and you can put a new insert in there and everything's 100% replaceable. That is the nice thing about these mowers. It feels pretty good. We don't need to change that. That's staying pretty tight. So we're good to just go ahead and we'll swap everything out. Go ahead and get this roll pin out. Easiest way I've found to do it is do it like this. Hold it up with your leg, put your leg under it. You can get in here on top of this roll pin. I could really use a bigger hammer. So roll pins are all out of the ones that are still remaining. Pretty simple and straightforward. Now we'll go ahead and we'll get our impact with our socket. We get all new roll pins with the kit. You get 3 new bolts, 3 new roll pins, and 3 new blades with the kit. We'll take the Milwaukee 1-inch impact. Now you don't have to have a 1-inch impact, but it helps. Go back here. Well, that was the problem we had before. Through the hole. Ready? Yep. Ready? Yep. There we go. Insert looks good. Now I'll get another blade and I'll show you the difference here. So this is our old blade, this is our new blade, and we can see there's quite a bit worn off of them, and our hole is pretty oblonged out from where. That's the new blade, it's the old blade. And if you look sometimes, you'll start to see you get fine hairline cracks in these blades. We inspect them every morning when we start mowing them, and then at lunchtime we'll inspect them. And apparently that one, when the pin's that wore, you can't really see that. Well, you can see it, but it just didn't have any evidence that it was cracked. So that's why I blame it on the bolt breaking. So now we'll get these put back on. It's very important to make sure you have them the right direction also. Here, I'll hold this for you. It's easiest to put them all on, and then the mower balances itself out when you're trying to tighten stuff up. And I know somebody's probably going to ask in the comments, well, how long do the blades last? Just all depends on what you're mowing. Yeah, they've lasted, this set has lasted a long time, but they will last longer just mowing, you know, briars and grass and things like that versus mowing brush, like trees, I should say. Brush will last forever, but when you're trying to cut down trees constantly, you're putting a lot of stress on this mower. It's rated for like 10-inch, but we don't push it that hard. I think the largest we try to mow is what, about 4 inches? Yeah. 4 inches and down. Anything bigger than that, that's what we got the feller buncher for. Now this one's a little bit stuck. No big deal. Let's take a punch and drive it out. Watch your toes, George. That's kind of after the fact, wasn't it? Last blade. The blade changes don't take that long at all. A little bit of dirt in there. And now you can see the mower's balanced back out. It's not trying to turn on its own. Ooh, that squeal. Ooh. All right, now we can go back through, tighten all them up, and then we can put our roll pins back in.
Same as the first one. A little bit. Work.
Well, we'll do a real quick visual inspection. Everything looks good. Roll pins are all back in. George, you're ready to go back to mowing. Well, it seems like George is enjoying his new blades. There's nothing better than a fresh set of brush mower blades. Now we do sharpen them, but it sure is nice when they're nice and fresh. That factory edge cuts really good. But sad part is it only takes one rock and they're pretty blunt. Or a railroad rail that somebody put in for a corner post that you don't see. Something like that wipes them out pretty quick. There shouldn't be any rocks or anything like that on this ditch. We did ride it with the side-by-sides and looked at it pretty well and didn't see anything. In this general area, usually don't have rocks. Small rocks don't hurt, but big rocks really hurt. Nip the dirt a little bit right there. There's actually some ditch spoil that was dug out of the ditch. It's up here on the bank that nobody came back to grade off at one time, it looks like. So he's going to be fighting that as he goes in some spots. They left it piled pretty high and you can't really see it because of the grass. Made short work of that little cedar tree. Large softwoods we don't mind with this mower, but hardwoods we try to stray away from. Oh yeah, he's going for it. Like Christmas in July. Christmas tree exploding. He's just gonna mow the small stuff off of it. Alright, I'm gonna walk back to the truck. I gotta run to Kankakee Valley REMC and swap out my meter base for the electric for the new house and the new shop. We're going to go 400 amp service instead of only 200 amp service. That way we can go 200 to the house, 200 to the shop. I decided after talking to my electrician friend, and a few viewers pointed it out, they're like, just go 400 amp service. So it only costed like another $900 to go that route. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I know I have plenty of power to do whatever I want to do in the shop. So I'm going to go do that real quick this morning. Got to get the, well, they call it the 320 meter base. So it's actually 400, but they're technical terms, you know, that they use. So, all right, I'm gonna go do that. Then we'll come back to this project later on today. Actually, I think I'm gonna make a two-part episode out of this. We'll call this first video, you know, changing blades on the diamond mower. And then I'll do an episode on actually digging on this project. So we got to see George doing a little brush mowing. So anyways, thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. I'll see you all in the next one.